Ever wonder what happens when fame meets tragedy? How does justice work when the spotlight shines so bright? Celebrity murder trials captivate our collective imagination, blurring the lines between entertainment and real-life horror. Number 5. Phil Spector, the music producer's downfall. Did genius and madness truly walk hand in hand? Phil Spector revolutionized the music industry with his wall of sound production technique, working with legends like the Beatles, the Ronettes, and the Righteous Brothers. His genius was undeniable, but so was his erratic behavior. On February 3, 2003, actress Lana Clarkson was found dead from a gunshot wound to the mouth in Spector's California mansion. Spector claimed her death was an accidental suicide, telling his driver, "I think I killed somebody." This chilling statement would haunt his defense throughout the trials that followed. Spector's first trial began in 2007, featuring his attorney's dramatic reenactment of the shooting and testimony from other women who claimed Spector had threatened them with firearms in the past. The jury deadlocked, unable to reach a verdict. The music producer temporarily walked free. The retrial in 2008 painted a disturbing portrait of Spector. Prosecutors presented him as a dangerous man with a history of alcohol abuse and threatening women with guns. 5 women testified about past incidents where Spector pointed firearms at them when they tried to leave his presence. In 2009, the jury found Spector guilty of second-degree murder. At 69 years old, the once celebrated music producer was sentenced to 19 years to life in prison. He died behind bars on January 16, 2021, at age 81 from COVID-19 complications. The mansion where Clarkson died, once valued at $1,100,000, sat on the market for years. Despite its 9 bedrooms and spectacular views, the property's dark history made it difficult to sell. Even in real estate, the shadow of Spector's crime lingered. Number 4. Robert Blake, Hollywood's mysterious case. Can a celebrated actor truly separate himself from the roles he played? Robert Blake rose to fame as a child actor in the Our Gang series before starring as a tough detective in the 1970s TV show Beretta. His on-screen persona often portrayed him as a hardened character comfortable with violence. On May 4, 2001, Blake took his wife, Bonnie Lee Backley, to dinner at Vitalo's restaurant in Studio City, California. According to Blake, he briefly returned to the restaurant to retrieve a gun he supposedly left behind. Upon returning to the car, he found Backley shot twice while sitting in the passenger seat. Backley's past complicated matters. She had a history of running Lonely Hearts scams and allegedly trapped Blake into marriage by becoming pregnant. Their relationship was tumultuous from the start, with Blake reportedly resenting the marriage but doting on their daughter, Rosie. The prosecution built their case around testimony from 2 stuntmen who claimed Blake attempted to hire them to kill Backley. However, their credibility came into question due to their histories of drug abuse. The murder weapon found in a dumpster near the crime scene couldn't be definitively linked to Blake. After a 3-month trial in 2005, the jury acquitted Blake of murder and 1 count of solicitation to murder. However, they deadlocked on the second solicitation charge, which was later dismissed. Blake wept openly in court upon hearing the verdict. Despite his legal victory, a civil jury later found Blake liable for Backley's wrongful death and ordered him to pay $30 million in damages. The amount was later reduced to $15 million, forcing Blake to declare bankruptcy. He died in March 2023 at age 89, never escaping the shadow of suspicion despite his acquittal. Number 3. Aaron Hernandez, from NFL star to convicted killer. How does someone go from scoring touchdowns to life behind bars? Aaron Hernandez seemed to have everything: a $40 million contract with the New England Patriots, a fiancée, a daughter, and fame. Born in Bristol, Connecticut, he showed exceptional talent as a football player from an early age. On June 17, 2013, Odin Lloyd, a semi-professional football player dating the sister of Hernandez's fiancée, was found dead in an industrial park about a mile from Hernandez's home. He had been shot multiple times. Within days, police arrested Hernandez, sending shockwaves through the sports world. The evidence against Hernandez mounted quickly. Surveillance footage showed him with Lloyd the night of the murder. Cell phone records tracked their movements. Shell casings found at the crime scene matched those found in a car rented by Hernandez. His home security system had been intentionally damaged, with missing footage from the night of the killing. During his 2015 trial, prosecutors painted Hernandez as a calculating killer who orchestrated Lloyd's murder, though they never established a clear motive. Some speculated Lloyd might have known about Hernandez's alleged involvement in an earlier double homicide or about rumors regarding Hernandez's sexuality. The jury found Hernandez guilty of first-degree murder, and he received a life sentence without the possibility of parole. While still appealing this conviction, Hernandez faced trial for the earlier double homicide but was acquitted of those charges on April 14, 2017. 5 days after his acquittal, on April 19, 2017, guards found Hernandez hanging in his prison cell. His death was ruled a suicide. Researchers later examined his brain and discovered he suffered from an advanced case of chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE, a degenerative brain disease found in people with repeated head trauma. The diagnosis raised questions about how brain injury might have influenced his behavior, though it provided no simple answers for his actions. Number 2. Snoop Dogg, the trial that almost ended a career. Can someone beat a murder charge and then become a beloved cultural icon? Before he was cooking with Martha Stewart or commentating on the Olympics, Snoop Dogg, born Calvin Broadus Jr., faced a murder trial that could have ended his burgeoning rap career before it truly took off. On August 25, 1993, Philip Woldemariam was shot and killed in a confrontation with Snoop Dogg's bodyguard, McKinley Lee, in Los Angeles. Snoop was driving the vehicle at the time. Both men were charged with first-degree murder, as prosecutors argued they had hunted down Woldemariam after an earlier dispute. The trial came at a pivotal moment in hip-hop history and Snoop's career. His debut album Doggastyle had just been released to massive commercial success, but the murder charges threatened everything. The media frenzy surrounding the case intensified the growing national debate about gangster rap and violence. During the trial, the defense claimed self-defense, arguing that Woldemariam was reaching for a gun when Lee shot him. This narrative was supported by testimony that Woldemariam was affiliated with a local gang that had threatened Snoop earlier that day. The trial lasted nearly 3 years, with Snoop and Lee eventually acquitted of murder charges in February 1996. The jury deadlocked on voluntary manslaughter charges for both men, and the judge dismissed these charges. Unlike many others on this list, Snoop Dogg rebuilt his life and career after his trial, transforming from a controversial figure to a mainstream celebrity embraced across American culture. His journey from murder defendant to cultural ambassador represents one of the most remarkable image rehabilitations in entertainment history. Number 1. O.J. Simpson, the trial of the century. Have you ever witnessed an entire nation stop to watch a car chase? On June 17, 1994, nearly 95 million Americans did exactly that as a white Ford Bronco carrying O.J. Simpson crawled along Los Angeles freeways, pursued by police as news helicopters broadcast every moment. Simpson, a football legend turned actor and beloved pitchman, had become the primary suspect in the brutal murders of his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ronald Goldman. The victims were found stabbed to death outside Nicole's Brentwood condo on June 12, 1994. The evidence against Simpson appeared substantial. A blood trail led from the crime scene to his home. A bloody glove found at his estate matched one from the murder scene. Blood in Simpson's Bronco matched the victim's. He had a cut on his hand that prosecutors said came from the attack. And there was his history of domestic violence against Nicole, documented in police reports and her own diaries. What followed was an 11-month trial that transfixed America, exposing deep racial divisions in post-Rodney King Los Angeles. Simpson assembled what the media dubbed the dream team of defense attorneys, including Johnny Cochran, F. Lee Bailey, Robert Shapiro, and Alan Dershowitz. The prosecution, led by Marcia Clark and Christopher Darden, faced numerous setbacks. Detective Mark Fuhrman, who found the bloody glove, was revealed to have used racial slurs in the past, undermining his credibility. When Simpson tried on the bloody gloves in court, they appeared not to fit, leading to Cochran's famous line, "If it doesn't fit, you must acquit." The trial became about much more than the murders. It touched on racial profiling, police misconduct, celebrity justice, and domestic violence. For many Black Americans, Simpson's case represented a rare instance where the criminal justice system might not automatically condemn a Black man. For many white Americans, the focus remained on the overwhelming physical evidence. On October 3, 1995, an estimated 150 million people watched as Simpson was acquitted. Reactions split starkly along racial lines. Polls showed most Black Americans approved of the verdict, while most white Americans disagreed. Though free from criminal charges, Simpson later lost a civil wrongful death suit brought by the Goldman and Brown families. The jury ordered him to pay $33,500,000 in damages. Most of this judgment remains unpaid. Simpson's life after acquittal was troubled. In 2008, he was convicted of armed robbery and kidnapping in Las Vegas and sentenced to 33 years in prison. He was granted parole in 2017 and released after serving 9 years. He died in April 2024 at age 76, never escaping the shadow of the murders despite his acquittal. The Brown and Goldman families continue to seek justice and keep the memory of their loved ones alive. Fred Goldman, Ronald's father, has tirelessly pursued Simpson for the civil judgment, saying his quest was never about money but accountability. Can justice truly be served when celebrity, race, and media collide? How many truths can exist about a single event? The cases that captivate us most are often those that provide the fewest satisfying answers.